Hi, this is John Demetrius with Oh Yeah Marketing. I'm one of the strategists and co-founders of Oh Yeah. We're a New York, Connecticut-based agency specializing in SEO and advertising. And today we'll be running through a masterclass on local technical on-page SEO and advertising options in today's environment. So let me go ahead and get started. So I've got a background in corporate marketing and sales, and we started the agency back in about 2013. So we've been doing this for close to 10 years. The main thrust of our agency is to create content, and we do that through written content and video content, and we're called Oh Yeah. So let me have a quick conversation about how we're going to have a conversation today about SEO and advertising. We're going to focus on complex organizations rather than transactional. Transactional could be a gas station, a laundromat, etc. Complex organizations tend to have longer buying cycles. There's competition that makes it interesting. Obviously, price is going to influence decision, but we want to transition those conversations to value-based solutions. And you may have salespeople, an admissions process, some sort of onboarding process for clients or patients. And you may also have multiple locations, a franchise, or your business may be impacted by what's known as today the near me searches on Google, which is somewhere between 70 and 80% of all searches for local businesses. So let's talk about the options that you have. Oftentimes, SEO is considered content and optimization of a website. So often organizations, business leaders, business owners feel like they've got to make a decision about, do we optimize the website or we just go ahead and start advertising? And I'd like to put forward the idea that I would start with SEO. I would start with creating content and optimizing the website because that has the longer payoff. Obviously, advertising gets you traffic right away, but if the traffic that you're driving doesn't see the content that they're expecting, they'll land on the site. They'll determine that it's not what they're looking for. They'll bounce off. So you may find that you've got some waste there. So along the buying journey, here's what a typical funnel looks like. There's different ways that tactics play a role in getting people into your funnel, making them aware of your business, making them aware of your solutions. So at the top of the funnel, we're hoping that people are finding your business, they're doing all their research, they're engaging with you as part of their consideration process, and then when they're intent upon buying, that there's content there and retargeting to be able to keep them in front of your salespeople, in front of your organization, and then we're converting, and then we're doing things to create loyalty and retention. One of the challenges that when organizations ignore content and they rely solely on advertising is that once you reduce your ad spend budget or you stop completely, so does the traffic. That doesn't happen with organic or SEO. You really get the benefit of all that organic traffic when you focus on content in the beginning, and then you use advertising to drive content to make that content that you have popular. So, back when Google first started, content was the reason why search began in the first place. And really, it's Google crawling your website, understanding what your website is all about, each page of your website, because Google's job is to connect the person that's searching or making a query with the answer. That's their goal. And they don't really care if it's your website or somebody else's. Their goal is to get people that are searching to the best answer as possible. So think about the buying journey again. So the upper part of the funnel, they may not be looking to make a purchase. You're going to get people that are just curious about topics. They may be doing research for a loved one. So they may be championing the cause. They may be the sole decision maker. They may be part of a committee, and you need to have content available for all of those individuals. It may be an end consumer, it may be a loved one, but they're doing research. And in most cases, you want your organization to be considered as part of that buying process. At the lower end of the funnel, as people's their need for content evolves, they're going to be exploring vendors. They're going to be looking at how your solution compares to others, how you contrast, what your process actually is, what they can expect. The reputation of the organization will be looking at your reviews. At the end of the day, they want to make sure that they're making the safe choice. And really, that's how we can look at the content creation from an SEO perspective. So I'll be talking about three major types of SEO. So it's local, on-site, and technical for today's discussion. The first thing I'd like any organization to do is to create a baseline. So I would start by making sure that you've got Google Search Console and Google Analytics set up. Google Search Console gives you a snapshot of what happens before somebody lands on your website. So let me show you what that looks like. So this is a Google Search Console, and you'll see that this gives you the number of impressions and the number of clicks for your organization. There is this section down below based on queries. So what you're going to see is how many times does your organization show up on a search result page, and how many times do they actually click. So if we go a little bit deeper, and as I was to use this, of course we want to rank when people actually search for the name of the organization. But let's say we go down a little bit further, and let's say next ACT test date. So this is a test prep organization. We would probably want to have articles and pages dedicated to test dates, registration dates, so that people can come to our site. Of course, they're looking for specific information, but they're going to land on our website, and we can entice them to continue to search for products and services that relate to these searches. So this is how we look at, or this is how we use Google Search Console, so that we can make sure that all the pages of your website, as new pages are being created, that they're being discovered and indexed. Let me move that off to the side. At the same time, there are tools out there that give, I'm sorry, let me go back to Google Analytics. Google Analytics gives us an understanding of what happens while people are on your site. So it's going to, during that phase when somebody is on your page, it's going to show you how many views or how many sessions they have, how many users come to the site, and how much time they're actually spending on your website. So go to Google Analytics, reports, engagement, and then pages and screens, and that'll show you for your pages where you're expecting most of your traffic to come, how long are they actually spending. If they're spending under 30 seconds, it means you're not getting good engagement. Let's say 30 seconds to 2 minutes is pretty good. Anything over 2 minutes is great. You should. What I'd like to see from our legal and healthcare clients, we want people to spend 3, 4, 5 minutes on your site. So that means that you've got good content. And we'll talk about what good content looks like on a future slide. There's also some snapshot reports. We can run one for you as well. It'll give you a sense as to how you're perceived online. So it gives a very good review of how consistent your information is from a directory perspective, how well it's found across the web, and then how well your website is performing. So these reports usually give you a A, B, C, D passing score, F for fail. Additionally, you can also check out your domain rating. Go to this Ahrefs website. We'll post it in the comments of the video. But it's an arbitrary score from 0 to 100. It's meant to replicate how Google sees your website. So you can go to this website, put in your own website, enter your competitors to see how you compare. Obviously, if you've got a higher score, or whoever's got the higher score, they are more likely to have their website and their internal pages displayed to people searching for those products and services over yours. So it's really important to have a really good trust rating. Also, I highly recommend that you do some organic keyword research. So based on your industry, what keywords should be ranking for, and then you can use a tool like Ahrefs that will scan your site and tell you exactly what organic keywords are you ranking for, and whatever that gap is, that's where you know that you've got to do a little bit of work. So I did a quick Google search this morning on personal injury. Based on my location, which I'm in Hartford, Connecticut, you can see that in the center we've got the local service ads, and down at the bottom we've got a paid advertisement. So the Zipfel law came up in the first position. And when I take their website and I drop it into a domain rating, I see that they've got a 0.7 out of 100. So it's not a great score. It could be a relatively new website, or they may just be putting all of their money into advertising and not into content. So you as a consumer can decide how trustworthy is this business. And then if you look at others like Jane Chill and Becker in the same area that provide the same services, they've got a domain rating of a 30. So are they more trustworthy? Well, in Google's eyes, they are. And then we look at another client as well, another law firm as well, and they've got a domain rating of a 34. So use that tool, look yourself up, and if you're below your competition, that means that you've got some work to do. Next up is local SEO. So this has a lot to do with the near me. People that have, they're probably midway through the buying funnel, and they're looking for a local vendor. Maybe it's a service that requires them to have a local presence. So they're going out onto Google and they're looking for, they're searching keywords. It's mostly optimizing the map. Google Business Profile. Every business needs one. It's absolutely critical. Apple came out with their own Business Connect platform. It allows you to register your business on their Apple ecosystem. So you'll be on maps. It's really important that you're out there. And then also registering on Bing Places for Business. So one is creating a profile, two, optimizing it. So there's different sections. So it's name, address, phone number. Make sure that every single one of your locations has its own individual profile. You're going to upload pictures, and you're going to fill out the information about the services that you offer, the products that you offer, and there's usually a frequently asked question or FAQ section. Fill those out completely. And what you want to do, Google and these other business profiles, they're going to give favor to those organizations that pay attention and are consistent to posting content. So we recommend that you post at least once per month. It's the consistency is key, not so much the content. So it's it's a business update. Hey, we just hired a new staff member, or we just won this award, or we're going to be at this trade show. Anything like that really allows you to expand your organic footprint. Also, we want to pay attention to make sure that we're getting those good Google reviews and asking clients. Secondly, there are the three big data aggregators. They're a lot like the big three credit bureaus. We want to make sure that these big three data aggregators have your correct information. When they do, the other small directory sites, which there are somewhere between 400 and 500, will go out and they'll sync with the big three data aggregators and update their profiles on you. Now, these directory sites, they either come monthly, quarterly, half a year, once a year. We don't control when the directories update their information from the big three. It's just that whatever the big three has will overwrite what's at the directory level. So the best way to manage this is to buy a service. It's either Yext or we've got a service that you buy the service, and it pushes out your data to the big three, and it also pushes out your data to all the directory sites, and it locks it down so that nobody else can make any changes. Nobody else can claim your business and shut it down. We see that all the time. So it's really important to lock down your local SEO. On-site SEO. To me, this is all about content. So one of the things that I recommend for clients is that we separate their services on their own page. Days are gone of the time when you would have all your services listed on the same page. Nope, each service page has their own page, and it has 1,500 words or so. All the content on your page, your content needs to be optimized, and we'll talk about what that looks like in just a second. But you also want to have internal links and external links. The internal links should be linking up to the main service page. I'd also recommend that you have 2 articles or 2 blog posts per service. We recommend the 1,500 words, but sometimes the 2,000 to 3,000 words is required. What are you going to write about? Well, for any service that you offer, if you have enough of these conversations, people ask you the same questions over and over. And if you don't know what those are, you can talk to your salespeople or your customer service people. What are the top 10 people or top 10 questions that people ask you over and over again about your services? Well, each one of those questions is an article, and those answers allow you to go into depth, and you want to be completely transparent. You want to give them the good, bad, and the ugly. Tell them the ugly, tell them the good stuff. It will reward you. Don't sugarcoat things. Just be very straightforward and tell people exactly how it is. And then also, I'd recommend that you follow a subdirectory structure. I'll go into that in just a moment, but it's when you're creating blog articles that you're also incorporating the name of the service in the domain structure. Additionally, when you're placing content on new pages, and we need to make sure that those pages are engaging. So it can't just be a block of text. We've got there's some stylization. We want to make sure that we're encouraging engagement. So we've got a little bit of text, we've got a graphic, text, a video, text, a table, and then high impact images. We want people to linger, because as they linger and your engagement time increases, Google goes, oh, somebody just asked a question, I sent them there, and look, they were there for 5 minutes and they went deeper into the site. That must be a really great location for me to send more people. Well, if they send more people and they all have the same experience, they're going to go, oh, that's a great piece of content. We're going to send people there. So that's how that works. So from a subdirectory structure, so this is the website address of that law firm that I found this morning on my example. You can see their website is that. They have, if you go up to their website, their main menu, their first service is they've got a service around car accidents. Well, if they were going to be writing articles, which I think that they are, or they should be, maybe they have an article that is what to do if you have a car accident. Well, the way I would structure the slugs or the name of that is I would have obviously the website address. I would have the service next with the /, and then after the name of the service, I'd have the name of the blog article. So any of the content in the what to do in that article, we're actually going to have internal links back up to the car accident page. So probably 3 to 4 links built into the text back up to the car accidents page. And I would limit internal links to other pages. This is going to help tell Google that this what to do is part of the car accident page, and it shows them that you've got lots of content, and this should help to increase your website authority score. And really what you're trying to do is you're trying to educate your consumers, because education is modern marketing. People have questions, and if you're not giving them the answers, your competitors are. And at the end of the day, whoever's going to help these prospects get the information that they need, that's probably who they're going to go to for their service. So the last component is technical SEO. So there is a hierarchy and a structure to adding written content to the page. So there's only one H1 tag on each page. This is your primary heading. This is what tells Google what your page is about. And then we're going to use H2s, H3s, and H4s for subheadings, subsections, and so on. So this is very important that we follow this methodology when we're adding content to the page. Also, we want to be cognizant that Google has this core web vitals. You can go out to this page speed link that I've got out here on this page, but Google has a set of standards for loading and page speed, interactivity and visual stability of the site that they grade you based on both desktop and mobile as to how well it's performing. And you can use some of these metrics to improve your sites. We also want to make sure that there's no broken links. Everything is active, because that just lowers your overall health score, making your site less appealing. So a broken site with lots of errors, a lot of broken links, can impact your ability to attract organic traffic. Additionally, we want to make sure that all the metadata, so that's information underneath the page, that's behind the scenes, in fields that the public can't see, but we need to take advantage of all those data fields to let Google and the search engines know exactly what your site is about and what each page is about. And we want to make sure that each page has a unique keyword theme, and that we're making sure that we're able to communicate that to the search engines, because machines need to be told what things are. We don't want them to try to guess. So the next up is content. So here's an example of the Zipfel Law Firm's page on car accidents. You can see in the green box at the top, I pulled this content directly from their website. The red star, that's the query. So this page is about car accidents. You can see it in the H1 tag at the top. So this page should be optimized from a keyword perspective for car accidents. You can see that the lower left corner, this article has 1,334 words. At the upper right-hand corner, you'll see that the topic score based on car accidents being the query, this article is only optimized at 17%. Well, what does that mean? All right, so look at the box just below that. 30.4% is the average score across all the competitors that have website pages about car accidents. Well, this page isn't going to perform very well in a national worldwide search. Does it perform well in a local search for people that are looking for car accident attorneys in Hartford? Well, probably not. So what this site does as I move screens, this site, and we use a tool called Phrase.io. We use a lot of different tools. But you can see if I go over here to optimize and I look at the competitors, for car accidents, you'll see all these sites that actually perform or are ranked higher than Zipfel's Law Firm's site. So what this tool does is it goes in and it looks at the top sites that have keywords, and then it understands the structure of the site, what keywords make up a high-ranking website, and then it tells us exactly what keywords we need to introduce into the article. So I've got an example. It's on a different topic, but I think it'll make sense. So here's a client's website. I'm sorry, this is a test prep client. The owner of the business wrote an article. When we started to do an analysis, we could see that it had 378 words down here in the lower corner. The search query is what college admissions test optional means. So, what does it mean for applicants? So when we look at the optimization, this article is only optimized at 15%, and the average article out there is optimized at 45.3. If we look at the competitors for test optional, these are all the organizations that have better articles. And then we have a heat map and we can see that his original article had almost none of the keywords. So we know why it only ranked at 15%. So one of our writers started writing and working. So there is no magic key here. AI is not going to do this for you. Although it's going to help us analyze the content faster, we still need a writer to come in here and expand all the content. So you can see our content writer got the article up to 1,500 words. And it's optimized at 47% by adding more content, keywords, and we've got the heat map. Oh, we're starting to get some good results. And then it looks like there's a third version that was created. They've got it up to 3,236 words. And now the article is optimized at 72%. If we look at the competitors, There's only 2 other articles that we found based on this query that are more optimized than us. And our writer's not done yet, but this is a good example letting you see how we compare from a optimization perspective. So I hope that was helpful in explaining how we go about optimizing content, or how you should be optimizing content. So you can do that with service pages, blog articles, almost any topic. I would definitely be mining your Google Search Console for queries that came in where maybe you're not getting clicks, but you feel like you should be. Those are great articles or topics for you to come in and start writing about. So the next topic is about advertising. Advertising by itself is not the golden bullet. It's not the thing that's going to change your business. What it does is it gets you to get the message out. Now, it is still incumbent upon you to provide great service, making sure that you're open, making sure that you're attentive, and that you've got great content. So I really do recommend starting with the content and driving traffic to those specific pages where people are asking questions that are relevant to what you're offering. So I'd like you to think about advertising in 2 ways. One is there's search, which is the highest intent, right? Somebody's looking for a solution. They've got a problem. Hey, I'm going to go out to Google and I'm going to type in a question. People Google everything. Hopefully your website comes up. If it's a good match for what they're trying to do, they're going to consume your content, and if you've got a solution, they're going to buy it or sign up or subscribe or put it in the cart. The other advertising is really interruption based. So whether you're driving down the highway, you see a billboard, or you're scrolling through your news feed and an ad shows up, or you're watching TV or a movie, that's all interruption. They're going to stop what you're doing. You have no intention of seeing a soap commercial, but hey, you're going to watch it anyways because you're already watching TV. So all the different types of advertising that are available to you. So you've got search, which is where I think we want to be in today's marketplace. We also have programmatic. It's also called AI advertising because we use a program or AI to deliver ads. And these ads are delivered, across streaming services. It's called streaming when it's on your big screen TV. If it's, on your tablet device, whatever gaming system, is called OTT. So you'll see that those terms are used interchangeably. We also have the ability to use display and banner ads. And I'll show you what those look like. They're everywhere, and you don't even know how many ads you see in a day. I think the number I saw at one point is, on average, if you're on your device a lot, you can see up to 5,000 ads a day. So we also have the ability to advertise using pre-roll. Pre-roll is, you're probably familiar with if you go out and watch a YouTube video, and if you are seeing ads on your service, you often see a 6-second video before you watch the video that's free that you want to see. That's called pre-roll. Or if the video is playing and it pauses and they show you an ad, that's called mid-roll. So again, the A and C take advantage of video, B is graphic design, and then D is really the targeting. So we can use geofencing as identifying people or devices that are in an actual physical location. Geoframing is going back in time. Let's say for my product or service, anybody that goes to Lord & Taylor or Macy's is a good customer for me. Well, I can geoframe Macy's or Lord & Taylor, find everybody that's been there in the last 12 to 24 months and put those people into an audience and show that audience pool of people my ads. There's also preset audiences. So if you want to hit Republicans, Democrats, people that drive Ford, Broncos, people that have homes over $1 million, people that have net worth, people have a certain credit score, people have asphalt shingles, or they live in mobile homes. Anything you want to do, there's an audience for it. If you can imagine it, we have an audience. Retargeting, so based on certain pages that people visit, or keywords. We also do a lot of out of home. So think billboards, digital billboards. You hear the advertisements at gas stations. All those are available to you. And then additionally, linear and traditional TV. So, hey, I want to advertise during the Olympics or during my local Major League Baseball game. No problem. And then also social networks, whether, hey, I really want to advertise on Instagram or Facebook, we can absolutely do that. And I'd say today, the social networks are best used for branding. So there are tactics for advertising. So, there's a use case for when we use display or pre-roll. There's a idea of when we use site and search retargeting during the intent stage, or site retargeting at the conversion level. So, and then email marketing or text marketing. So one tactic shouldn't be used for everything. And that's why you'll hear me talk about in a few minutes about how we layer in different tactics. So in my playbook today, we usually start with search, which is search engine marketing or SEM. It's the highest intent. Depending on if we've got a limited budget, we may just run search campaigns, and we can run a couple different types of search campaigns. So we can run search, which is the Google. We can run display. And Google actually just came out with this really great Performance Max campaign. Performance Max, it combines search, retargeting, all in one. I think there's 5 different ways that they can advertise. So I think there's 5 videos we can upload, 20 images, and then they use some signals and intent, and I'll talk about that in a second. YouTube search, targeting people in their Gmail, which is a very popular, probably the most popular email service today. And then we got the programmatic, which has hyper intensive targeting. It's amazing. With programmatic, I usually will do a combination of streaming with pre-roll with banner ads, so getting a nice mix in there. And then also using social networks for branding existing customers, awareness. But 5 years ago, we'd throw ads up on Facebook and you get 1 million leads. We've not seen that in a very long time. But there are some industries that work very well on Instagram, health and beauty, clothing. Those are niches and work very well. But healthcare, legal, manufacturing, it's more branding. So usually when we approach an advertising conversation, step one is we have the conversation about, okay, who are we going to target? So we can target people who visit a very specific website. So let's say you're a business and there's competitors in the area. We can actually identify your competitors, and anybody that visits your competitors, we can retarget them with our own ads. So competitors is one good example, or tangential sites. So let's say I sell ski equipment and there's a couple ski resorts in the mountains nearby. Well, I can put a geofence around those ski mountains and show my, hey, I sell skis and I rent skis to those people that visit that website as well. So, or even geofence. Number 2, signals and intent. The Performance Max is more of an AI Google advertising tool. So based on individuals' profiles, the places that you visit, the content that you consume, they use AI to extract intent, or what they call signals, to identify what you're interested in. And we try to align our products and services, our videos, our images with that intent so that we're showing people things. Now, normally with a search engine marketing, we'll do a combination of a search ad and a Performance Max ad. I think that those work really well when they're in tandem. All right, so search retargeting, it's exactly what it is. Somebody goes out to a search engine and they type in a keyword or a phrase or ask a question based on any of those. We can tell Google, hey, based on those keywords, show them our ads, and continue to show them our ads over 30 days. We can also geofence physical locations. I'll show you what that means in just a second. Contextual keyword retargeting. So we can target people that based on categories of sites that they like. So people that are fitness fanatics or yoga lovers, or they like certain sports teams. So we know the context of the content that they consume, and we can target people that visit those sites. Again, site retargeting. So a little different than number one. Site retargeting is actually for your own website. So we can retarget people that visit your websites based on the specific pages that they visit. So let's say you're a law firm, you do personal injury, litigation, workers' comp. Well, if somebody goes to the workers' comp page, you don't want to be showing them personal injury ads. It just doesn't make sense. So if they go to the workers' comp page, we can show them workers' comp testimonials, hero stories, why you're the best workers' comp law firm for their problem. So that's site retargeting. And then we can use data. So there's first, second, and third party data. First party data is your customer list. So if you got a CRM, you've been collecting data for a long time, we can import that and then target those individuals. Second party data is obviously information that you've purchased from a vendor. So that's easy to target. And then third party data, again, data brokers, they package all this consumer data, they're buying data. Anything that where you voluntarily give up your information for a profile, purchasing history, any of that stuff, you go to your local grocery store and you swipe your little tag and get a discount every time you buy groceries. They package up all that information. If I want to target somebody in Fresno that likes taco sauce, I can because we have that data and we know exactly who they are. And oh, by the way, if we only want to show our ads to those people that make $1 million or more with 2 kids in the house, we can do that. And they've got their house is paid off and older parents living at home. Yeah, it's that specific. So that's from an audience curation. Let me jump over to geofencing a little bit just to give you a visual. So we can actually put a virtual fence around a physical location. So we can use interior walls. We can do part of a strip mall, part of a location, an entire location. We can do a location plus the parking lot. So how it works is everybody travels, they move around with their device on, say most people do, of a certain age. Most people have the location services on. So what's that, 90% of the people? So when somebody enters a virtual zone with their device on, location services on, each device has its unique ID. We identify the device, we ping it, and we grab it and we drop it in an audience pool. It's that easy. I did talk about geoframing. So same thing. If there's a physical address and we want a geoframe, we ingest that actual plat line address or postal address. Then we identify whoever's been there for the last 12 to 24 months, and they go into an audience pool. One of the coolest things is cross-device ID, or scariest thing is once we identify a device and it goes to its home and it connects to the Wi-Fi, then we're able to then identify every single other internet-enabled device that has a screen that we can show content on to leverage. So somebody, although we've got the device ID for their mobile phone, but they go to sit down on the couch and turn on their streaming service, they turn on Amazon Prime, and they've got a service where they're being delivered commercials. Well, we're going to bid on that space and show them our advertisements. So you're familiar with all these logos. So you can show almost every publisher, streaming service, online publisher makes money from advertising, and they're more than happy to make space for our ads and show their visitors your content. So the next conversation is, what creatives do we need to create? So I highly recommend video. Video should be very specific with the intention of what it's going to be used for. So we need some 15 and 30-second video spots. We should probably also do some banner advertising, because if we've got the audience, we can be everywhere all the time. So regardless of what device they're on or what publisher they go to, the cost depends on the frequency. So do we want to show your prospect one ad a month or one ad an hour, obviously that's going to impact the price. So frequency matters. So how often do you want people to see ads? I will tell you, the more often somebody sees a message, the more they're able to recall it. And then working through, what is the messaging? What is the call to action? Go to a website, come on in. Hey, we've got a something sale, or we're just the best. Visit our website, call us for to talk with one of our onboarding specialists, whatever it is. And if we're driving people to a website, we need to be very cognizant of what content are we dropping people onto. It's got to align. The message in the ad's got to align with the content on the website, and it's got to address their current needs. It's got to position you as a subject matter expert, and there's got to be a path that allows them to ingest or review additional content as their needs evolve. So that requires, a content strategy and probably a longer conversation about, how do you answer all of those questions that people have that they require in order to do business with you or before they make contact with you. And then also conversion tracking. So we use probably 4 or 5 different things for conversion tracking. We like to use call tracking because that gives us source attribution for, okay, which campaign drove that person to the website. It tracks that phone call. It can record the phone call if you're okay with that. And so it's very important. So if you're spending money on ads, you want to know which ads are actually driving phone calls. At the same time, these call tracking services can also provide attribution for the form submissions as well. So which ads resulted in website traffic that resulted in a form submission. So were you doing a lot of Google Tag Manager? Google Analytics 4 and Google Search Console are requirements. Tag Manager, more complicated, but most people should be using Tag Manager today. And we talked about what banners look like. So here's 2 screenshots. The left is a local Connecticut NBC affiliate. The screenshot on the right is the Wall Street Journal. You can see with the red boxes and the arrows, there's ads everywhere. So think about it. If you are going to, you go to the Wall Street Journal and you run an ad where you show 1 banner ad to your audience per month, all the competition that they have for their attention, you probably won't get seen. So I would opt for a higher frequency, but ads are everywhere and we're inundated. Here's some other examples of some banners that we've created. They come in all different shapes and sizes. Advertising rates, CPM is cost per thousand. So if you want to use display and banner ads on mobile, you're going to pay anywhere between $10 and $20 per thousand. Even at the high range, $20 to get your banner ad shown to 1,000 impressions is a pretty good deal. Now, the reason that we show a range is that if we're all competing for the same people, and there's other advertisers, let's say my competition down the street is, they're running banner ads too, but they're bidding $10 for a CPM. But let's say we're bidding at $10 too, and we're not seeing a lot of displays. We're not winning those bids. So what I'll do is I'll recommend, hey, why don't we go up to $11 or $12 or $14 so that we make sure that we win those bids. So the advertiser will continue to show our ads until our budget is exhausted and then move down to the person with the next bid. So we want the flexibility to be able to overbid the competition if we're not seeing the frequency and the distribution that we expect. So pre-roll, $24 to $30 per thousand. Streaming services, connected TV. You could be on a television commercial for $40 to $64 CPM. And then we also do this thing called zip code advertising. There's only 4 demographics that we can target based on this. So it's pretty cool. We can use geography, age, gender, and household income only for demographic options. And so those rates are a little bit lower, and it's probably more in line with, let's say, a traditional linear TV advertising play. But that's still, we're only looking at $18 to $26 per thousand. So very affordable for most businesses. And I would highly recommend, and it's a requirement, that you look at advertising in 3-month stints to see and measure, test and measure how well your advertising is performing. So, every campaign should be a minimum of 3 months. I do recommend a 6-month campaign, but where I would start is I would make sure that your website is optimized from a technical perspective, that you've got great content, and that content is optimized. Then you can start advertising. So if you need help creating content, we've got great writers. We have a full video production team to help you create content. My name is John Demetrius. I'm with Oh Yeah Marketing. I appreciate you taking a few minutes to watch our masterclass. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Visit us at ohyeahmarketing.com, or you can send me an email. My information is right below the video. All right. Thank you much, and we look forward to seeing you. Bye-bye.